Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news and updates. Alpha 3.20 is now in Open PTU. It's Pirate Week and Cloud Imperium Games talk about the future of cargo and persistent hangars. Alpha 3.20 is now in Open PTU. Now, if you're downloading this, if you're wanting to play in those test servers, you need to have a game package. You'll then need to go onto the RSI website, and then in account settings, public test universe, you'll want to copy your account across. In the launcher then, select PTU rather than the live build. Bam, you'll be able to play in the latest PTU build. Now, you will need to select US or EU as your server region when you're in game, rather than best. Otherwise, it will fail to load into the persistent universe, but the patch contains a lot of improvements, polish and stability, along with the Hull C, cargo and mission updates, tons of Arena Commander modes, and major updates to those modes, experimental modes, so lots and lots of interesting game modes there, master mode testing. If you want to get involved in Arena Commander stuff, there is huge amounts of gameplay there. So yeah, it looks like we're going to have an end of September release for 3.20 Live, though some people have suggested that they hold the patch back for CitizenCon. I think it is much more likely that we will see a 3.20.1 mini patch for CitizenCon and 3.20 actually released in the next couple of weeks. Will there be a wipe for the live build for 3.20? We don't know. I personally don't think so. It's looking like a genuinely good, solid patch that's ironed out a ton of the problems that the 3.18 and 3.19 builds had earlier in the year. After you've played a bit in the latest PTU, please tell me what you think in the comments down below. It's Pirate Week, so it's your last chance to get the old Pirate Aggressor badge by playing in Pirate Swarm in Arena Commander. You need to complete it in multiplayer. This also gives you access to purchase the Pirate Gladius and Pirate Caterpillar if you're so inclined, but there's a new version and badge in 3.20, so sort of bear that in mind if you want to get the old version. There is a bit of a pirate ship sale on too. New piratey Meridian skins for the Mercury, Hercules, Ares and Eclipse ships, and there's a bunch of ships that Cloud Imperium are focusing the sale on, not necessarily piratey ones, although I suppose they are combat, bounty hunting and pirate. There's the Hercules C2, M2 and A2, the Ares Ion and Inferno, the Avenger, Stalker, Titan and Warlock. There's also the Cutlass Black, the Eclipse, the Gladius, the Mercury, the Vanguard Harbinger, Hoplite, Sentinel and Warden, and as I said, the Pirate Gladius and Pirate Caterpillar with some unique skins if you have unlocked that Pirate Aggressor badge. There are some discount starter packages which might be interesting to some. The Avenger Titan and the Cutlass Black with the game package, they have a good amount of money off them, and those two ships are pretty sweet. Now, you don't need anything more than a $45 starter package. Bam, that'll get you in the game. You can get everything else in game. However, if you do want something a little bit beyond that, I don't suggest you buy very expensive ships or anything like that, but those two ships, fantastic starting ships for the game if you want something a bit more than just a basic starter. There's also a ton of ship skins available under each of those ship entries, and a few mega ship packs for those of you that are inclined. The C2 and Eclipse have a discount Warbond upgrade available too. From September 21st, the infamous Jumpdown Drugs Lab will become operational again on moons of the Stanton system. Raise your colours and make a name for yourself as a ruthless reprobate, or side with the dastardly do-gooders of the system and put an end to the madness once and for all. It's a good and bloody way to sample life on both sides of the law. Assumedly, Alpha 3.20 won't be out live by then, so unless there's been some hot fixes, I'm a little concerned that there'll be a lot of desync and invisible player issues around that event, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be a good time for some people, maybe it'll be a bit erratic. Although the 3.19.1 build is significantly better than what we've had previously in the year, there's still those problems with invisible players, there's still those problems with desync. There's an interesting little screenshot contest as well. A life of a pirate requires many things, but above all else, it requires both nerves and a liver of steel. This diabolical treasure hunt puts both to the test, as you'll follow a map to a pair of locations near Klesha with a beverage in hand, being ever so careful not to spill any of those precious liquids along the precarious journey. The freebooter with the most creative screenshot showing off their beverage at quest's end will have a chance to secure booty beyond measure. Basically, there's some ships available as prizes. So there is a nicely vague map, which I will link down below, that Cloud Imperium have shared, but yes, get involved with that if you are so interested. There was an Inside Star Citizen design brief Cargo Career Part 1. So this is the first part in a two-parter. They talked about freight elevators, instance hangars, persistent hangars, and physical cargo here. So the North American Persistent Universe feature team is a super team created by merging several of the North American teams across studios, and is formed to work on large feature sets to allow for the resources, time, quality, and support that they require. So they're talking about physicalized cargo, persistent hangars, inventory systems, in-game shopping, exploration. That's all sort of stuff that they're working on at the moment. They talked more at length about the cargo career, freight elevators, and hangars as well. So freight elevators, they add a more physicalized and real element to cargo. It's a fundamental change in how items are purchased, moved, stored. You'll go to an access point at a hangar, and there's going to be kiosks as well, and these will allow you to interface with cargo and your inventory and these freight elevators. So you'll be able to call up items basically, and they'll turn up on the freight elevator. Then you'll use your hands or your tractor beam to move them onto your ship, or you can take something from your ship and put them onto your freight elevator, and that will put it into storage. So if you're going to sell a load of iron, you'll take it from your ship, boop, and put it on the freight elevator, boop, and then sell it. You'll be able to have much more sort of interaction and be much more in charge of how you load and unload your ship, because obviously when you're taking stuff off a freight elevator after you've bought it, you'll then have to load it into your ship. How you stack them on your cargo grid, all that sort of stuff is now gameplay. This is all part of CIG's push towards costs and times associated with loading mechanics and a more physicalized cargo experience. But this is kind of expanding out to all cargo gameplay with outposts, underground facilities, space stations. Landing locations will all support those manual loading processes. One of the major requirements for them to actually have freight elevators in game is instanced hangars. So these allow players to spend extended periods of time in their hangars loading and unloading without causing a bottleneck in game. So they're creating a hangar for you at runtime, decoupling it from the main space. So you'll sort of travel there, bam, get into the hangar. They then sort of put it into storage. So it's not a true physicalized address of a hangar, but it's a solution that works. When you want to leave your hangar, you'll then request that with the ATC. They sort of like move it into place, and then you'll be able to leave. So there's no loading screens. It is a seamless experience, and when you're landing, you'll do exactly the same thing when you're leaving or landing, but they're not technically in exactly the same physical space of when you entered them to when they move, and they might be in a slightly different space potentially when you actually leave, but I suppose they will just put the entrance in the same area. You might have to queue for a few seconds, maybe, things like that. Persistent hangars are an evolution of this. So this is a hangar where you have a lot more of your own agency and customization. You'll be able to put items in there that then persist. You'll be able to buy larger hangars or more space and other facilities potentially too. In the shorter term though, you'll have access to basically one of these persistent hangars at your home location. You'll be able to invite other players here and treat it as a base. This tech is also going to be used for player habs, which they're working on. In Alpha 3.20, there's a new box system, larger and more varied cargo box sizes, between 1 to 32 SCU. Beyond this, they're adding inventory cargo boxes as well. So in the future, you won't be able to sort of store items wherever you are in a landing zone. You won't be able to open your inventory and just drag it into the landing zone, but you will be able to store them in inventory containers. Assumedly, your ships will probably still have their own dedicated inventory as well, so lockers and things. But you'll be able to take inventory container boxes, so you can put anything you sort of want in them, and then snap them to your cargo grid, just like any other cargo box. You'll then be able to store ship weapons and vehicles in boxes too. Obviously, the box does need to be of the appropriate size. You'll be able to put these inventory containers on the freight elevators and put them into that location's inventory as well. This allows for a huge range of storage and gameplay. There is a lot of looting potential there too. Cargo properties are expanding as well, from fragile types of cargo to radioactive, to ones that need to be kept cool. Huge ranges of different types of cargo. Cargo grids are being updated to allow any size item to attach to them as well. So basically, anything that can snap, be that cargo boxes, missiles, items, weapons, tons of stuff, plushies potentially, bodies. You'll be able to see a lot of your cargo physicalized because of that, and you don't necessarily need a cargo box. Will I be able to put vehicles in different cargo grids, like on the Hull C? Quite possibly. Next week, we're going to see part 2 of that from that Inside Star Citizen, with vehicle and location inventory changes, larger item support, kiosk changes, the item bank, and unique item recovery, which hopefully means that I'll be able to get my monocle and top hat back more easily. Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen updates today. Are you excited for that cargo gameplay and the sort of pushing towards persistent hangars? It sounds like Cloud Imperium are making some concessions sensibly towards having instance hangars and things like that as well. That does make a lot of sense. I do want the game to come out at some point. They can't have physicalized addresses for everything, especially at those more public landing zones. Do you like the idea of the freight elevator gameplay, or do you think that adds too much faff and extra sort of long time to cargo gameplay and it's sort of like just chores and extra work? I do believe you will be able to pay just to have that done for you. If you go to a landing zone with the right facilities and that sort of stuff, you'll be able to just pay to have that loading and unloading process done potentially a lot faster. Are you going to be grabbing anything during Pirate Week or getting involved in the screenshot competition? Have you got your Pirate Aggressor badge, and are you looking forward to the new Pirate Aggressor badge and stuff like that for 3.20? And have you been playing in the 3.20 PTU? Are you looking forward to that live build? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. NordVPN is amazing and you should buy it. It's so useful, it's easier to tell you what it can't do. NordVPN can't do your taxes. Nord, how much do I owe for VAT? NordVPN can't help you buy more spaceships. Nord, add a terrapin to my shopping cart. NordVPN can't cook for you. No, my cabbages! And NordVPN can't be your girlfriend. Can't or won't NordVPN, if that is your real name. NordVPN.com/BoardGamer will help you connect to the internet more safely, securely, and anonymously, with greater access to the content you want. But can I teach it to love? Links below for the best NordVPN deals around. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and for September, that's for the Drake Corsair, that fantastic exploration ship. Not only will you be able to explore the verse with it, but the ship is perfectly competent at a huge range of gameplay and is a fantastic mission running ship. You can use it for cargo, you can put some vehicles in there. It's reasonably good in a fight, one of the true multi-role, multi-crew ships. To be in for a chance of winning one of those, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details down below. Also down below are links to be able to support the channel more. There's the join button, making you one of my elite channel members. You'll get occasional exclusive content. There's also YouTube badges and emotes to show your support. There's also Patreon for those of you that prefer that. We try to mirror the rewards on there as well. But just people liking, subscribing, and sharing these videos goes a long way. A heartfelt thank you to everyone that watched the video. I hope you have a great September, and I'll see you in the verse.